Welcome, everybody. I want to just briefly introduce myself so you know who's talking to you and know where I'm talking to you from. My name is Bailey Brinson. I'm a professional educator, meaning that you ever had a class clown that got get kicked out of class all the time? That was me. Right. But now I get paid to do the exact same thing. As far as self-care and wellness goes, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease about 7, 8 years ago. Crohn's disease is an anti-inflammatory disease of your intestines. My intestines, normally intestines supposed to be by this degree. When they get inflamed, it was this degree. I wasn't absorbing nutrients from the food that I was eating. I was training for the NFL, about 180 pounds, 14 days, 14 nights in the hospital, no solid food. I left out weighing 149 pounds, no muscles, no nothing. So I had to completely change the way I ate, my mindset, and really begin to explore who I am. Who am I? And through doing that, I tapped into what I personally call secret knowledge and stuff that a lot of people not are aware of. So that's what my goal here today, to share this stuff that I study. So as we go, we're just going to go around the room and you just tell everyone your name, where you're from, and the first thing that comes to mind when you think of self-care and wellness. And Paige, since you always talking junk, go ahead.
My name is Paige Crumby. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been in Atlanta for about to be 10 years. And when I think of self-care, I think about peace. I'm a very at peace person. So anything to promote peace within myself, and I avoid anything that interrupts it.
You're just telling us your name, where you're from, and the first thing that comes to mind when you think of self-care and wellness.
All right, so my name is Kalisha. I am from Darlington. Darlington, yes. When I think of self-care, I think of taking a step back and doing something that re-energizes me.
My name is Denardo Bell. Originally from Darlington, but they've been in Charlotte 7 years.
Okay.
I think about the mental and the physical part of your body.
Okay.
I'm Ty Steele. I'm from Darlington. Now I live in Charlotte. When I think of self-care, I just think about me as a whole being the best me, so I can be the best me for those two little girls you see running around.
Well, I'm Ryan, and I'm too from Darlington, but reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. And when I think of self-care, I think about the physical, the mental, and the financial, and the spiritual aspect of one's life.
Perfect. So just so y'all know, you know what I'm saying, I'm about from South Carolina. I went to South Carolina State, you know what I'm saying, so I know a little bit.
Yes,
Right.
okay.
Oh, the big sister. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. I knew I liked you for some reason. Listen, I knew we was all right. As soon as I said something about camera, she just like, I got it. Okay, so here's my question to you all. Raise your hand if you believe that you are mind, body, and soul. You think you're mind, body, and soul. Pretty much everybody. I'm here to tell you all, this is my premise, that you're wrong. Here's what I mean. You are, or we are, souls that have bodies that came equipped with a mind. Because the paradigm we haven't been presented with that information correctly, we've been living off kilter. We've been putting what do you call it, the horse before the hay before the horse? Or,
The carriage before the
carriage before the horse. Right. We've been taught to think that we have a mind, body, and a soul. Like you have a soul.
The body's just a vessel.
Right. But when we learn to operate from this and you really get a clear picture of it, that we're souls with a body that came equipped with a mind. Now we can get a real understanding of who we are. We can really start taking care of self-care. Now, the young lady said that she was talking about taking care of herself first before she could give to her daughters and her children. So we all basically understand that we need to take care of ourselves first. But are you? And if you are, how are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself first?
things you eat.
Okay.
Ooh, physical health.
Physical health.
Try to do mental health.
Mental health.
Like, trying to stay stress free. I think that plays a part with it, like getting cancer stress and stuff like that too.
How are you taking care of yourself? Self-care.
I told you, I don't, if it interrupts my peace, I don't deal with it. So sometimes that means I don't deal with friends. You got too much drama, I don't want to be around it. And then that's something that has come from me growing as a person and recognizing what I like, what I don't like, what makes me comfortable, what doesn't, what promotes me, and what makes me depressed. So I just choose to stay away from anything that doesn't promote me in a positive way.
That's great. That's great. So one of the things that I want to, first tool that I want to give you all, just in exploring yourself, right, is to begin asking yourself, how do I feel? Asking yourself, how do I feel? So as we go, we're going to go back around the group and just, I feel, how do you feel? I feel this, I feel that. So I'll start off, I feel a little anxious because I got to use the restroom. But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Our current state or
How do you feel? I'm not going to answer that because you just tapped into what I'm getting at.
okay, well, right now I feel hopeful.
Hopeful.
I feel excited.
Feel excited.
Blessed.
Feel blessed.
I feel content.
Content.
Oh,
Yeah, she took yours.
yes!
Well, you took the one about high self-care, like blocking negativity and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Okay,
it's a
okay.
synergy thing over here.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm content. Everything's copacetic right now.
Everything's copacetic. And she added the word to it, right now. One of the things of how you take care of yourself is to begin to be present. And you ask yourself, how do I feel? Because when you explore how you feel right now, you become present to the now moment. Y'all follow me? You can't feel something tomorrow. You can't feel something yesterday. You feel it now. In the moment. Because that's what you ask. How do I feel in the current moment? You can't feel tomorrow. You can't feel yesterday. Now, time only exists in your mind. Time only exists in your mind.
It's created by me.
Right. Time is either in the past or the future. When you focus on the past, it makes you depressed and sad. When you think of the future, it makes you anxious. Oh, I gotta get this money. Oh, I gotta get to the presentation. It makes you anxious. But you will always discover your peace, like Paige said, in the present. Present. One of the ways to become present is to ask yourself, how do I feel? So if you find yourself getting anxious or sad, one way to become present is to say, I feel anxious or I feel sad. You're no longer sad about thinking about the past. You're no longer anxious about thinking about the future. You're recognizing I'm anxious now because I'm thinking of the future. Y'all follow me there? So do we recognize the importance of being here in the now? So I want to give you a couple of tools to be in the now. But before we do, what are some times that you felt like you weren't in the now? There's some things that you're doing that you recognize, like, dang, I'm not here right now.
I get that feeling a lot. I actually get that feeling a lot.
A lot.
When I have something on my mind, but I have to do something else, I'm still at work, but in the back of my mind, like I can tell just I'm not all the way focused. Like there's still something going on in my mind, even though my body is physically in the present.
So my question to you, do you have access to all your power when you're feeling like that? All of your power? No.
I don't have all of my power when I'm at work because I'm not allowed to focus on it. Because I'm at work. I got kids and, I just don't have that time to focus on myself. But when I get home, that's why it's cut off everybody. I turn the TV on, just be.
That's a good one. B. So What my goal is to highlight the importance of being present. If you want access to all of your power all the time, you have to be present. Because if you're constantly in your mind thinking, "Or what is this person thinking about me? Or how do they feel? Or how's this going to work out? Or what's going to happen tomorrow? What happened yesterday?" You're constantly in your head. I don't have access to be present with you all right here, right now. You ever talk to somebody and you pouring out your heart to them, and they're not listening? How you feel about that person? How's that person make you feel? Have you ever been that person where somebody's pouring out their heart? You just like, been at work. So I want to give you tips and tools when you're feeling like that to become present, right here, right now. So one of the ways of doing that is through taking a mindful breath. Taking a mindful breath. Now, what is the proper way to breathe? Anybody want to give me, just, blurt it out?
Deep.
In and out. Yes, you breathe in and out.
Through your nose and out your mouth.
Through your nose and out your mouth. Everybody agree with in your nose and out your mouth? Yes, 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 yes. I'm sorry to bust your bubbles again.
No, it's wrong.
In your mouth, out through your nose.
No.
Through
The
your
proper
nose.
way for humans to breathe is in through your nose and out through your nose. You're breathing consciously when you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Meaning, I'm aware that I'm going to take a breath. I'm aware that I'm going to let out my breath. As opposed to breathing unconsciously. I'm mad. I'm about to beat somebody. I'm sad. Right? I'm in control. I know what I'm doing. I'm present. Oh, breath control is infinitely powerful for us, but I'm not going to tell you in what area right now, guys. Okay? But I'm getting lightheaded right now, so I'm breathing right now. So proper breathing is in through your nose and out through your nose. Taking a mindful breath is just being aware of the air coming in your nose and out your nose. That's a mindful breath. Okay, let me explain why it's so important of taking a mindful breath and proper breathing. What's the first thing you do when you enter this moment? First thing you do.
Take a breath. Open your eyes.
No, you said it. Take a breath. It's the first thing you do, right? You come out your mom's womb, slap you on your butt, you go, it's a breath. Right? What's the last thing you do when you leave this planet? You take a breath. That's the last thing you do. But how often throughout your day, throughout your life, throughout your walking day, do you pay attention to your breathing?
Not enough.
Probably never. Right? But if you stop, watch how important it is, though. Watch how important it is. If you stop breathing. If you stop breathing, you're gone. Right? So your breath and breathing is infinitely powerful.
Because I noticed something. Feeling stressed.
Natural nature. What I'm explaining to everyone is called natural nature. This isn't something that you're thinking about. This is meaning that if you watch children, they breathe properly. If you watch how they sleep, they do everything correct because it's natural nature. See, as we continue to grow and we live in this world, we begin to get off of our natural nature, meaning that you have a perfect body. Everything, this is my belief. This might be talking about. To me, you're born perfectly. That child is perfect. It's when we start getting introduced to things that aren't in alignment with that perfection is when we start drifting away from our perfection. Everybody in here has a perfect body. It's already perfect. Your cells are already programmed for you to operate in your perfect self. It's just about stepping away from those things that aren't perfect for you and operating in alignment with those. The first thing is proper breathing. Proper breathing. The first key to optimum health is you learning to breathe properly. You'll get more energy for breathing properly. You'll be a lot more de-stressed from breathing properly, and you'll be a lot more in control of self. So as we begin, I just want everybody to slide back. We're going to work on a little breath work. You can do this at your stoplight. You can do this at work. 6 times a day, maybe you just stop and you breathe in your nose and out your nose. So maybe you close your eyes, maybe you don't. I want to do it 3 times with your eyes open, and then we'll do it 3 times with your eyes closed. And I want you all to tell me the difference. So we'll just close our eyes, keep our eyes open, erect our spines, and take an inhale through our nose, and exhale out our nose. Inhale through your nose, exhale out your nose. One more time, inhale through your nose, and exhale out your nose. Now we're going to do the same thing with our eyes closed. Last breath. And open your eyes. What's the difference? Oh, well, how do you feel right now? Go ahead, Paige. Paige, like, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Because I noticed as soon as we did it, when my eyes was open, I was like looking around, but when I closed my eyes, I heard the music. I was able to distinctly hear their conversation. It was like I was on a different level of focus because I closed my eyes and I focused on my breathing.
Yes. Anybody else care to share? Your experience. What did you
When I closed my eyes, it also felt like it flowed more naturally. Also,
It felt
as to
different.
when I was had my eyes open, I was kind of like, okay. But when I closed it, it just seemed like it took place.
Yeah, when I close my eyes, I feel more calm.
calmer? Okay.
It was more relaxing.
More relaxing?
I agree.
Wow. Watch this, you all. You spent 9 months somewhere before you came into this planet, came on this earth. Where was it?
In the womb.
In your mother's womb. Is there light in the womb? No, it's dark. Correct? Will you think you were anxious when you were in your mother's womb or extremely relaxed?
I was
Relaxed.
trying to figure stuff out. But
Right, but you was in that thing chilling, right? You was chilling in there, right? When we close our eyes, we go right back to that natural state. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm not claiming to be a Bible scholar. But somewhere in that book, it says, peace be what?
Still.
Peace be still.
Let them shout.
Right? So I want to give you all 3 quick tools, power tools that you can use to still your mind. First off, remember that physiology matches with psychology, meaning a still body creates a still mind.
You're going too fast.
I'm sorry, still body.
Physiology.
Your mind and your body are one. I just used the big word to kind of try to make myself sound smart.
But what did you say?
Your mind and body are one. The physiology matches your psychology. So if you steal your body, you can also steal your mind, right? So closing your eyes naturally takes you back to that natural place, right? And there's, I'll close it down. And then I want you to begin to practice the 1/3 principle or the 1/3 rule. Anybody want to take a wild guess at what the 1/3 rule is? Talking about self-care, talking about self-care. 1/3 principle. What do you think it is?
A third for your mind, a third for your body, a third for your soul.
For your soul, spirit, whatever you call it. But are we operating from the right premise? Do you have a mind, body, and soul? Or are you a soul, mind, and see the premise? You want to operate from your true self first. Soul.
Okay.
Right? So the first third of your time, 1/3 principle. The first third of your time you want to spend with your soul, God, source, creator, whatever higher power you personally subscribe to. You want to spend 1/3 of your time with that individual, by yourself. And when you spend time with yourself, you want to spend that time with yourself with your eyes open, outside being tempted by all the external things. You want to close your eyes because it heightens your senses. It makes you go inside. How do I feel? I feel makes you go internally. Closing your eyes. Second third of your time, spending with another individual, whether it's a partner, a lover, a child, one other person. That's the person you can bounce your ideas off with. Because when you're spending time with yourself, you're exploring your own ideas. Then when you get with a partner, you're sharing your ideas to say, hey, this is how I feel. Hey, tell me about how you feel. And you can explore those ideas. Then another third, the last third of your time, is when you're out giving in groups. That's when you go and you give to your children, you go and give to your husband, you go and give to your family, you go and give to your community. But you can't do that unless you're on full first. You have to be on full.
Sometimes you exhaust yourself too much.
Right,
You
and you
don't
have nothing
enough.
to give. You have nothing to give. Especially being a teacher. You go to work
That's why I
every
have
day
so much downtime.
giving to the children. But I'm encouraging you, the 1/3 principle says before you go to work, before you get out your car, before you leave home, be still. Make an agreement with your family, your household. Listen, this is mama time. This is daddy time. You see a sock on the door. You need to just sit at the door and wait. That's what you need to do. But this is my time. This is time for me to spend time with Source, God, Creator, whatever higher power you subscribe to. Last but not least, I'm going to close with a poem. I'm going to close with a cool poem, but this is still a part of your notes. If I could write a piece that would bring you peace, this would be that piece. Sit up straight. Erect your spine. You're going to inhale through your nose. And you're going to say the word peace. And exaggerate the S sound. And after you finish, listen to the silence. Okay, we'll all do it collectively. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you don't. But if you close your eyes, you will get to experience more of the benefit. So we'll sit up straight. I'm going to keep my eyes open so I can protect you all. Okay, well, maybe you sit up straight and feel more than free to do it with us.
She got
Inhale
She's
through
got
your
that
nose.
child piece.
Exhale and say the word peace. And listen to the silence. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale and say the word peace. Listen to the silence. One last time, remember your physiology matches your psychology. If you can steal your body, your mind will steal. Last one, inhale. Exhale and say the word peace. Maybe you open your eyes. You about to do what? Go to sleep? What was that experience like? Did you hear the silence? Yeah, just a gap, right? That gap is what meditation is. The gap in between your thoughts is meditation. We just can't cut our minds off from thinking, but the gap in between the thoughts is meditation. I didn't get to explore it, so I'm going to talk about it until she makes us move. Imagine you're driving in a car and it's raining. The raindrops hitting the top of your car is thoughts. Consistent thoughts just running all day long. Oh, I can't get away from my mind. It's just running. Negative, right? And your thoughts always operate in positive and negative. Either it's a good thought or a bad thought. It's a right thought or a wrong thought. Blah, 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 right? The mind is a dual. When you go up under the underpass, that little gap from the rain, that gap is meditation. So if you sit down and you say, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes, I can assure you that if you're just starting, you're going to think for 9 minutes and 50 seconds. You might only get 10 minutes of gap time, and that gap might be a second in between each. But that's meditation. And as you begin to continue practicing, that gap will increase. I meditate on a daily basis, and I still haven't gotten all the way to know mine the whole time. There are glimpses. It's challenging. And it's a practice, and you improve as you keep going. So I strongly encourage you all to begin a meditation practice when you practice the 1/3 principle. Explore it for a week. Maybe a week you say, you know what, when I wake up, I'm going to sit and be as still as I can. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. As still as you can. Don't judge yourself if you move, you wiggle, and you have thoughts. It's normal. Thank you all so much. Could you please put your name and email in here? And as we leave, I just love to give you all a hug, because the average person receives 4 hugs a day. If you receive less than 12 hugs today, you're hug deficient. And the leading cause of death around the whole world is heart disease.
But it
Hugs
releases
open up our
endorphins.
hearts. Yes. So it's a
That
message
and
for that.
music.
Right, or dancing in general.
I'm going to meditate.